Hello there. In this video I want to show you the capabilities of the Highscore Cards editor of the VPin Studio. I will do that by designing some cards and explain the features the editor offers, and also will explain the concept of the base template and custom templates to use so that you can design fancy Highscore cards. Let's start with a quick overview about the UI. You have the overview of the existing tables here on the left, which you can filter, of course. And more importantly, you have direct access to the asset manager and can customize the assets of the table. And these are important when it comes to the card design, depending on what design you choose. For example, if you want to see the wheel icon or want to select the background, the backlash background as background for the card, or even want to show videos based on the full DMD or topper. The black area is the design area, which is currently blank because I have disabled all previews or all elements here on the left, indicated by the eye icon. So as long as these are disabled, none of the elements are rendered, and we will start by rendering a Highscore card for the table avatar. So I will make a quick walkthrough about the different options we have here for designing the card. First of all, let's enable the background settings. And you see here you have different options: solid background, default background, and fallback background, which means we have one color, a background image, mostly taken from the backlash, or a fixed image, which you can upload on your own or select one of the pre-existing ones. You have additional options like alpha percentage and stuff like that, also blurring. You can play around with that. Here we want to stick to the default background and enable the other UI elements. So next, head to frame, enable it, and as you can see, the frame settings will give you the option to render border, and it looks already nice as it is. We have a white border here, and I want to emphasize here one nice feature. You have now also the background zoom, where you can zoom in the background image, which might come in handy for some tables or some background images. You can also define an offset for the background a bit if you want to, but as I said, play around with it. Features are so far pretty self-explaining. So we have, of course, we want to render the score. These are centered. You can enable drag and drop by just clicking on it and position the score freely. We have the wheel icon, which is part of the asset. We can position that. We have the the title settings, which is the general Highscore. Highscore title or any other title you like, and of course the table name. And as you can see, this one is not centered, so we adjust the canvas. We can either do it manually or just use full width of the card, and therefore ensure that the title is centered, and can basically then freely design our card. And as you can see, you can get a result pretty fast. That's the basic template design. Next, let's discuss how you can reuse these card templates for the different tables. So as you can see, we have worked on the default template, which is selected here in this combo box, and we can create a bunch of new layouts this way, or templates, for each table individually. Of course, this would be tedious because most of the settings will match, so you want to only customize a few of them and want to reuse some base settings. So let's do that. For example, I create a new template called customizable wheel. Customizable wheel. And here, by using this template, I say, okay, all settings are locked and can't be edited. When edited, only the wheel can be positioned freely. So if I switch now to the card mode, then an individual card template will be generated for avatar, and what I'm editing here now is only applied to the avatar table. And as you can see on the right, I can only edit the wheel settings and position the wheel. So for any other table I use, for example, here for Austin Powers, I can also say, okay, I want to apply the settings from the default, which matches, or from the customizable wheel template. And then I also create an individual card here and position the wheel icon for Austin Powers. The advantage here is if I go to any other table, for example, I've duplicated Austin Powers here, and as you can see, I can switch to my original template and, for example, hide the title and the table name and position the Highscore differently. When I then switch back to the customized individual template, the settings are applied to every table, so you can reuse all other table settings from the original template. Sorry if this was a little bit technical, but I hope you get the idea. I will show you next a more real-life scenario where this can be used, especially with DMD backgrounds, or full DMD background videos. So far, I've only shown you some basic features of the card editor. I want to design a more advanced version now, and for that I'm selecting the table Apollo 13. And the first thing I'm going to do is define a new template, and we call it background video. And here we start replacing the actual background settings. So we don't want to use default background image. Instead, we want to select transparent background. And as you can see, the card would be rendered transparent now. So wherever this card would now be rendered, we would see the background, and we can simulate it by here selecting the overlay mode and making this visible. This overlay mode shows you the screen asset as it's configured for the assets. So you can check in the asset manager what assets are available. And yeah, you can then have videos here. I actually would use the topper video, which is nicer, but I don't want to have any license troubles, so we stick to the spectacles video, so you get the idea. Again, we can freely customize the background. The title here makes less sense, and we can position the title a bit, so I think you know where this will end up. And also let's darken or blur the background a bit more. Sorry, we can't do that because it's a video. So all you can do here is use a canvas. It shows a canvas, and use that one to get more contrast for the actual high scores. Two things I haven't mentioned or shown you is one important thing. You can drag and drop elements out of the fixed frame border by pressing the control key. For example, if you want to position the wheel icon a bit outside, or want to place it hard on the bottom or whatever, you can press control, then it won't end up hard on the border, but instead you have a little bit more freedom to position it closer to the edges and the borders. The second one, and this feature I haven't shown you, is this other media settings, and these allows you, similar to the overlay, to render an additional asset from one of your screens. So first of all, let's go back to the asset manager, and let's see the info fly here is empty, and I have in the help section a picture of the actual physical cabinet, and this is available through the SuperHack GitHub repository which offers different kinds of images for pinball tables met by the VPS ID. So you have the physical image and also a preview of the VPX table. Here I've downloaded the table image and I can now enable the other media setting. Game help is selected and I can then render the table here in addition to the video and other elements. Of course this gets a little bit overloaded, so you may, for example, want to increase the whole canvas a bit and make it less transparent to get a bit of contrast. So you can freely design. Like I said, there are better videos to show this example, but I can show you here because I don't want to get license troubles with original movies. But this is just an idea how you can render your cards using videos, and they will end up on the screen as shown or previewed here in this editor. I hope you like the features. I'm curious to see what Highscore cards you will design. I will open up a Discord channel where you can post some images to get to inspire other users with your ideas. A little bit show off, of course, always nice. And so far, thanks for watching and goodbye.